Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Place Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from two important newspapers. The first being the Hindu and the other is the Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial of the day would be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 24th of January. The first topic is Elephant Corridor to be restored in South Bengal. We'll see the detail about this. Second, Prime Minister to unveil the Statue of Equality. Third, Omicron in community transition in India. This is what the committee report has to say. The second last, New Zealand ordered nationwide restrictions amid the Omicron cases rising in New Zealand. The government has taken some strict action. And the last is an editorial, the India shadow. So in this particular editorial, we see about the national security policy that was recently unveiled by the Pakistan Prime Minister. Apart from this, at the end of this video, there would be some MCQ based questions. These questions would be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. You can practice this question at your home. So without any further delay, let's get started. And those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Place Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. And just to inform you about the offers, we are offering 3 offers for you at Republic Day Sale. You can opt for courses at UPSC, the other courses for WBCS, and the test series discount is also applicable in all the courses, right? You can avail this discount till 26th of January. And for more details, you can refer to the description section of this video. For more details, you can also reach us via the contact number. Now, starting with the news, that is Elephant Corridor to be restored in South Bengal. Right? This particular news is important for General Studies Paper 3, Conservation, Environmental Pollution, and EIA, that is Environmental Impact Assessment. So what is a government stand and how the restorations and conservation work for the elephant has been taking place? We'll see the detail of this. So the fragmented and patchy forest of South Bengal, अगर बात करें इस region की, we have seen this emerged as one of the hotspot for human and elephant conflict in the region, right? Resulting in the loss of life for both the human, जहाँ पे ह्यूमन की भी डेथ हुई है, और जो पैरिडर्म्स है उनमें भी काफ़ी डेथ देखी है. These are the group of animal which has thickened skin, like आप rhinoceros ले सकते हैं, elephant ले सकते हैं. These are the category of animals. Now in November 2021, it was that the herd of 50 elephant come within 5-kilometer area of the town, that is in the Burdwan town. This is the district in West Bengal, and this has promoted, जहाँ पे district administration ने prohibitory orders की थी, that several gram panchayat in the region has imposed the prohibitory orders that we need to ensure कि जो एक track है या फिर जो एक pathway है elephant movement की, उसको disturb ना किया जाए. Now, if you see about this infograph, you'll get an idea. The total elephant count की अगर बात करें, in 2007 it was 27,670. फिर 2012 में increase हुई. This was around 30,000. Then again in 2007 it was 273,312. फिर 2020 की बात करें, then the number is good. This is somewhere close to 30,000. If you see the distribution of elephant in the population across the state in India, so सबसे ज़्यादा अगर बात करें किस स्टेट में पॉपुलेशन है, दिस इज फॉलोड बाय द फर्स्ट नंबर इज कर्नाटका, followed by Assam, then third would be Kerala, fourth is Tamil Nadu, and fifth is Odisha. This chart is again very important for your examination. They can ask you question with this regard also. अब बात करें कहाँ पे कितनी डेथ रिपोर्ट हुई, नंबर ऑफ ह्यूमन डेथ रिपोर्टेड ड्यू टू एनिमल अटैक. यू कैन सी दिस ईयर वाइज, राइट? For 2014-15, this is a data that is 480. और अभी करंट की अगर बात करें 1920 की, so the number of cases that were reported is what, 272. Now eastern states की बात करें, they have suffered a lot in terms of the number of human death counts. So the first would be for Odisha, followed by West Bengal, then Jharkhand, Assam, and Chhattisgarh. And if you see the trend in the most affected states, these are the trend. And elephant population in India, although I've told you, this is at present in 2020, it is close to 30,000 elephants. Now, government has come up with the counting of elephant. They have changed the methodology. So this is for the first time in India that the scientific and all synchronized elephant census was conducted in 2017. इससे पहले हर एक स्टेट अपनी सेपरेट मेथडोलॉजी के हिसाब से they used to calculate the number of elephant. But after 2017, what has happened? The government has clubbed it, and in India today there's nearly 30,000 of elephant in wild. Now, if you see the death of human that was there because of the conflict between the elephant and human. So between 2014 to 2019, as number of the death was reported in the government portal is 2,381. This is the human death. Or elephant attack across the country, we have seen that West Bengal has reported around 16% of the total death. जो जितनी death report हुई है उसमें 16% जो death है वो सिर्फ West Bengal region से. And the state, however, is home to less than 3% of total elephant population. तो West Bengal में जो total population है elephant की वो 3% यहाँ reside करती है. This percentage would be again important for state pieces also and other competitive examination also. Now, minimizing elephant human conflict would be something that is very important. So minimizing the elephant human conflict is pressing need for this region. और अगर वाइल्ड organizations की बात करें, the expert are now the opinion कि एक ecological restoration बनाने की जरूरत है where elephant corridor in South Bengal would be essentially required at this point of time at the earliest. Now, degradation of forest is also a consequential reason because of which the animal path has been penetrated to the town. So the degradation has started not just by decreasing the agriculture activities, जो agriculture activities हैं वो काफ़ी हद तक increase हुई है, and the path, the track that was being followed by the elephant has somewhere impacted, right? तो forest management हमें करने की ज़रूरत है. Community forest की वजह से भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें सुधरी हैं, कई जगह बहुत जगह पे खराब भी हुई, which has changed the very nature of the forest and make it commercially more viable. So community forest to a larger extent might be impacting for the restoration forest, but it is actually not good for the environment. अब basically अगर animals की बात करें, for that particular concern it is not good. एंड द कमर्शियली वाइबल तो हो सकती है, बट फॉरेस्ट के लिए ये बहुत ही हद तक एनिमल्स की पाथवे के लिए, चाहे वो एलिफेंट हो, टाइगर्स हो, उनकी पाथवे को भी डिस्टर्ब करती है. सो दिस इज हाउ द डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट हैज टुक प्लेस इन आवर कंट्री. Now moving to the other news, that is Prime Minister to unveil the Statue of Equality. This particular news is important for General Studies paper 2, function and responsibility of union and state, right? This type of news is also relevant for your other competitive examination. Apart from this Statue of Equality, India already had Statue of Unity, which is there in Gujarat. We'll see the detail of this news. The Prime Minister is expected to unveil the Ramanujam Acharya. This is the statue of 214 foot, which would be unveiled by the Prime Minister in Hyderabad. 5th of February is the date. The statue is described as the Statue of Equality. जो पूरी construction की cost आई है, that is around 1,000 crore rupees, and this entire fund was raised by donation from the devotees globally. And 216 feet statue of 11th century saint. This is he was a social reformer. Basically जो उसकी पूरी बात है मैं आपको आगे बताऊंगा. But talking about the location and the construct of this is 45-acre complex which is there in the outskirt of Hyderabad city, this adjacent district also known as Shamshadabad. This is the image. You can see the construction image. The build-up has already taken, the whole construction activities is final. Now it is expected to be unveiled by the Prime Minister on 5th of February. Now about the statue is made up of panchola. This is a 5 metal that is mixed like gold, silver, copper, brass and zinc. And the complex has identical recreation of 108 Divya Deshams. उसके बाद Vishnu temples भी हैं. And these are mentioned in the works of Alvord, Majestic and Tamil saints. The inner scrotum deity of Ramanujancharya was made up of 120 kilos of comrades gold. और ये 120 ईयर ऑफ सेंट जो जिन्होंने अपनी यात्रा स्टार्ट की उसकी पूरी 120 ईयर कम्प्लीकेशन को मार्क करती है. एंड दिस इज समथिंग ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर द यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन. एक आर्ट एंड कल्चर में भी आपसे रेलिवेंट सवाल पूछे जा सकते हैं, दैट व्हाट वाज हिज वर्क एंड कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस. सो अबाउट रामानुजम आचार्य, ही वाज बेसिकली बोर्न इन 1017. इसमें इसकी हुई थी तमिलनाडु में. ही लिबर्टेड फ्रॉम द सोशल, कल्चर एंड जेंडर एजुकेशन, इकोनॉमिक डिस्क्रिमिनेशन. And he also laid the foundations of every human regardless of nationality, gender, sex, caste and creed, right? So he was more into the social aspect where he called for equality and removal of discrimination. So he opened the door for all the people. He know that the equality can only be promoted at that point of time when temple is open for all section of the society, right, subject to extreme discriminations. And he remained timeless icon for equality इन टर्म्स ऑफ सोशल रिफॉर्म अराउंड द वर्ल्ड. तो इस तरह के जो टॉपिक्स हैं मेंस के लिए भी काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है. आप जो भी इस तरह के सोशल रिफॉर्म पर है स्पिरिचुअली उनके बारे में भी डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन पूछे जा सकते हैं. सो रामानुजमचार्य वॉज again remain a true icon for equality for, like, you can call him like around 1000 years till he has continued, and his ideology is still continuing in India. Omicron country, this is like transmission in India, this has risen. The committee, the group, the INSA core committee has given its report. This particular news is important for General Studies paper 2, that is issues related to development and management of health. So the recent report by the Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genomics Consortium, also known as INSA-CoV, they have released their latest bulletin. It says that Omicron की जो variant है वो community transmission में आ चुकी है. This is a confirmation that we are getting from the expert panel. And the new virus variant has become dominant in the several metros. जो न्यू केसेस एक्सपोनेंशियली इंक्रीज हो रही है उसके पीछे सबसे बड़ी रीजन ये है कि दिस हैज रीच्ड टू द कम्युनिटी ट्रांसमिशन. And the bulletin noted that most Omicron cases so far has been asymptomatic, right? जहाँ पे symptoms भी नहीं पता चलते हैं and actual people are infected. Mild हैं cases, hospitalizations और ICU की cases कुछ शहरों में बढ़ी हैं. It has been increasing in the current wave. Now, there's a linkages which was found BA.2. So, according to the bulletin, officially it says that it is infectious. जो sub variant है Omicron की that has been detected with considerable fraction in India. So, not only a specific region, इसकी जो distributions है वो pan India हुई है. And it is further said that BA.2 linkages was a substantial fraction जहाँ पे S gene की drop out देखी गई है. This is a screen that was likely to have a high false negative cases also, right? So this is something a technical term which not getting into detail of this. If you talk about the test suitable for PCR, that is like the basic test that was being done in the Omicron cases, तो यहाँ पे अप्रूवल ये भी दी गई है कि S gene dropout जो है genetic variations में in case of the Omicron cases should be also taken into the consideration. Now, if you see the declining trend in the cities, अगर मेजर metropolitan cities की बात करें, the time that was taken by the committee was January 2 to January 7. This is for 2022. And for this 7-day average, the cases in Mumbai is definitely deteriorating. The same goes with Delhi. It is also deteriorating. In Calcutta also, it is deteriorating. And Chennai, you can see there's still a sharp hike that has been maintained, right? So this was all about the cases. And average India में cases बढ़ रहे हैं. जो total toll है that is close to 3.4 lakh cases. Now, about the committee, अगर INSA COG की बात करें, this is a consortium of 10 labs and 18 satellite lab across the country that is scanning the COVID sample for the patients और किस तरह से transmission हो रही है, कहाँ पे reason है, what is the center point of this spike they are trying to identify. Now, the institution also involved the laboratories of Department of Biotechnology, जो CSIR की laboratories है वो भी involved है, ICMR and Health Ministry is completely the part of this consortium. Now, it started in actually January 2020 by sequencing all sample, जहाँ पे जो ट्रैवल हिस्ट्री है उनको ट्रैक की जाती है, प्रपोर्शनली कितने लोग पॉजिटिव्स हैं कम्युनिटी में, ये सारी चीज़ों की जो ट्रैक है, जो स्टेटस है, जो टेक्निकल असिस्टेंस है, दैट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम दिस consortium. Now, New Zealand ordered nationwide restriction. The cases has been reported in the country. So this is important for General Studies paper 2, effect of policy and politics for the developed countries. So what has happened in New Zealand, that the government has recently announced that they would impose restriction, the COVID restriction across the country from the midnight. That is yesterday only they have announced it. Why this was announced? Because 9 cases of the new Omicron cases were reported. And where the cases was reported, this were in South Island town of Nelson, जहाँ पे ये cases report की गई हैं. और इन्फेक्शन की अगर बात करें, it was found that the people who is operating in airport operations were found, and the people who was found infected has been quarantined. Now, how is this is going to impact the city? The Prime Minister ने कहा है that the infected people have also attended द वेडिंग इन ऑकलैंड, वहाँ जो न्यूजीलैंड की सबसे बड़ी सिटी है वहाँ पे इन्होंने मैरिज सेरेमनी अटेंड किया विच माइट impact a lot more people who were there in the participant, right? This meant that Omicron is circulating in Auckland, possibly by the Nelson and Malbrook region. तो न्यूजीलैंड ने कहा है कि उन्होंने अपनी जो जीरो कोविड स्ट्रेटजी है उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए दे हैव सीन दैट they would be finally coming with a strict lockdown because during the outbreak of Delta variant, there were a lot more repercussions that the economy has said and the people have been severely impacted. नाउ ओबी क्रेज को केसेस को देखते हुए जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैं अभी न्यूजीलैंड की शी हैज़ ऑल्सो कैंसल्ड हर वेडिंग. शी वॉज प्लानिंग टू गो फॉर अ वेडिंग सेरेमनी बट ड्यू टू दिस लॉकडाउन दैट प्लान हैज़ बीन कैंसल्ड एंड ओमिक्रॉन की जो वेरिएंट है दैट हैज़ ब्राउड पेंडेमिक टू सम मोस्ट रिमोट रीजन ऑफ द कंट्री दिस वीक. So the country is taking all precautionary measures so that it could not expand to other region of the states. So talking about the New Zealand corona cases, you can see the average. So this is the average for March, but if you see November, you can see the rise is there. Again, it has been deteriorated and now the new cases can also lead to the other repercussions. Now the India shadow. This particular news is important for General Studies paper 2, India and its neighborhood relation. So this particular editorial concerns about the national security policy of Pakistan. This is the entire theme of this editorial. And I'll be discussing this editorial and two important subheads like drawback in the policy, Kashmir issues, economic repercussions of the Pakistan, and why Pakistan come up with the national security policy for the first time in the history, right? So recently we have seen that the public version of Pakistan first ever national security policy was unveiled by the Prime Minister of Pakistan himself, and the policy stipulate the economic security. जो economic security है वो core है इस पूरी policy की. And NSP also expresses to improve the relationship with India. और इन्होंने कहा है कि पीसफुल रेजोल्यूशंस होंगी जहाँ पे जम्मू कश्मीर जो डिस्प्यूटेड एरिया है वो एक कोर होगी बायलैटरल relationship के लिए. But what expert says that if you want an economic relationship, there should be no terms and conditions that should apply, right? Now, drawback क्या है इस policies में? So the NSP mentioned the growing convention force in differential in the region, right? It is silent on the part that is like increasing defense outlay की अगर बात करें यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा concern नहीं की गई because in the past we have seen that Pakistan is a country where all the outfit of terrorism has taken place and Pakistan growth rate remain very low in this point of time. जहाँ पे decent अगर बात करें growth की that has been registered और वहाँ पे external जो aid है या जो inflows है foreign countries की वो भी बहुत कम हुई है. This is the reason why Pakistan is thinking for their economic stability at this point of time, right? The NSP expresses wish to improve the relationship with India, but again the problem is that the peaceful resolution of Jammu and Kashmir as a core bilateral relationship should not exist at this point of time. Now, if we talk about the Kashmir issue, which was again a highlight point, तो पाकिस्तान ने अपनी जो इनिशियल डिमांड है उसको रिवर्स किया है. बेसिकली दे हैव डिमांडेड दैट इन August 2019 that demanded the restoration of statehood should be there for the Jammu and Kashmir, which is now a union territory. So the restoration of the statehood would come in due course of time. Government ने अभी अपनी clarity तो नहीं दी है, but in due course of time, definitely statehood is something that would be coming up in Jammu and Kashmir. But from the government of India, there's no clarity and signal. So unless Pakistan take a pragmatic approach in Kashmir issues, so larger goal अगर आप देखें NSP की, this should be more into conclusion that seeks Kashmir as a perceptual stick to beat India as incapable. So this is a time where Kashmir issue should not be highlighted because if this is going to be a center point or center stage, then again the economic activities that should continue would again be stopped, right? So economic repercussion of the Pakistan, जो जिस तरह से इंडिया ने most favored nation की status हटा ली थी पाकिस्तान से, that has again been considered as a retaliatory move that India has taken. एक retaliation में ये move ली गई थी, which is again to some aspect is true. And it do not have a potential to influence the calculus of Pakistan's security establishment. Pakistan has also short-sighted this step जहाँ पे उन्होंने इंडिया के साथ भी ट्रेड को स्टॉप किया था, which has hurted economy of Pakistan more rather than India. इंडिया को कुछ में बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट नहीं हुई, but again पाकिस्तान उसके रिपरकशन अभी भी झेल रहा है. Now as a move to that, it has promoted India's cotton yarn, sugar, ये सारी चीज़ें अलाउड की गई है क्योंकि वहाँ पे इस चीज़ के डिफिसिट की वजह से जो प्राइस में इन्फ्लेशन थी वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ गई थी। Now, why Pakistan come up with the NSP? कुछ reasons है. अगर first उसकी बात करें, because Pakistan is facing the growing challenges, particularly in economy, and thus continue to hold their policy bottlenecks. Right? Many important policies and even the welfare policy has not been coming up. Even the COVID-19 has led to more deterioration in the shortfall of the economy. Second, because it reflects that the thinking of sizable constituency of Pakistan, it realized the importance of stable relationship with India. Not only the government of Pakistan, but even the people of Pakistan want कि अब इंडिया के साथ एक इकोनॉमिक एस्पेक्ट्स पे बात होनी चाहिए, एक प्रोस्पेरिटी लेवल पे बात होनी चाहिए, where there should be establishment and mutual healthy relationship between both countries, which would inevitably will be helping both countries in terms of establishing our economic cooperation. So this is the reason why पाकिस्तान माइट हैव कम अप, और पाकिस्तान ने ये क्लियर कहा है कि कोई भी हॉस्टिलिटी इंडिया से नहीं की जाएगी आने वाले 100 सालों में. सो दिस इज हाउ पाकिस्तान इज लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड विद एन इकोनॉमिक रिलेशनशिप विद इंडिया. Now moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed with the questions, just to tell you the answers of yesterday question, that is for the Saturday. So for the first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is again C. Today's MCQ question आपको बताना है Financial Action Task Force के बारे में. So the Financial Action Task Force is an intercommercial body, and the objective of FATF is to set standard and promote effective implementation of legal, regulatory, operational measure to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. So to check it out, which among the following is the correct answer, you have to mark that correct option. और इससे रिलेटेड जितने भी इस तरह के एग्रीमेंट हुए हैं उसके सारे क्वेश्चंस आप प्रैक्टिस कर लें. Now, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. This is again a key agreement that was between which among the following countries. You must be aware of this. We have discussed this on daily news analysis also. India and Mauritius, India and Sri Lanka, India and Japan, and India and Maldives. Do check it out. What is the correct option? I'll be discussing the correct option tomorrow. So this was all about the daily news and editorial analysis for the day, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.